Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome, and thank you for joining us today and taking time out of your busy day. We really do appreciate it. Today, we will be taking a detailed look into one of our value-added benefits. We'll be talking about hearing aids offered through our vendor, Tru Hearing, which is a benefit offered to most of our Medicare Advantage members. My name is Elisa Kim. I'm a representative of Western Health Advantage in the Medicare sales team. I'll be here helping to sift through any questions you may have. Speaking of which, I wanted to let everyone know that we have muted all our participants to avoid any delays or distractions. We shouldn't need to take up the full hour this morning, and I did want to let you know that we'll answer any questions you have at the end of the presentation. So the way you can ask questions is through the chat function, which you should see at the bottom of your screen. Feel free to play around with it. You can take some time now to move your mouse, test it out. You can even type us a quick hello just to make sure that you know how it's working. Feel free to ask a question at any time, and we will address it at the end of the presentation. Just something else to note that all your questions are private, so no other participants will be able to see your questions, just the moderators that we have today. So you're welcome to ask anything. And if you even wanted to throw in your name and phone number, if you wanted a call back to go over anything we covered today, you're free to do so, and no one else should see your personal information. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Today, we have the privilege of welcoming Cora Harriman to our presentation. She is the Director of Account Management at Tru Hearing, who is our hearing aid vendor. We're so happy to have her join us today and be able to speak to you directly about this amazing value-added benefit. She'll walk us through the program, give us details around it, let you know what you're entitled to and how you can access this benefit. So thank you so much, Cora. I'm going to turn it over to you now.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Elisa. I really appreciate it. Thank you all for being here today for this morning. And I just wanted to welcome you to Tru Hearing. At Tru Hearing, we know that good hearing is important to your overall health. And that's why Western Health Advantage provides you with the hearing aid benefit through Tru Hearing. So whether you have hearing loss or you think you may have hearing loss, or maybe you're just simply wanting to explore your benefits and see what you have available, we are here every step of the way and want to walk through everything in detail and answer any questions you may have. You can go to the next slide. Thanks, Elisa. So have you ever considered how better hearing could affect your health? There's a lot of research out there that shows that hearing loss plays a major role in our physical and mental well-being. So simply put, better hearing is good for both your body and your brain. Hearing better helps our mind keep our minds sharp. It helps us stay connected to our loved ones and can help keep us alert and improve our balance. Next slide, please. Thank you. Your Western Health Advantage Medicare Advantage plan includes the hearing aid coverage through Tru Hearing. So this means that you can save thousands of dollars on really high quality hearing aids through the benefit and hear better than ever. When you call Tru Hearing, the first thing we do is we pair you with one of our local Tru Hearing providers, and we have over 7,000 nationwide. So whether you are at home and wanting to get care close to home or you're traveling, we want to be available no matter where you are. And these providers provide the best care that you need. Next slide, thanks. So the Tru Hearing program, the benefit, it includes 3 very simple steps, and we'll walk through these in detail. But the first thing is a call Then you go in for a first visit for a hearing exam, and then you have really significant follow-up care that lasts an entire year. So when you call Tru Hearing, you'll speak first with one of our helpful hearing consultants, and that consultant will work with you directly throughout your experience. So they often provide their direct contact information, their phone number, their email address, and you can be reconnected to that same person whenever you'd like to call. Next slide, please. So the first thing your hearing consultant will do is look up your choice of convenient Tru Hearing providers near you. And then they actually schedule your first hearing appointment. And the reason we do that is to make sure that you have the best experience, that we're able to give your provider all of the information they need to know with regard to your benefit, all the different hearing aids that are available to you, and just to make sure that everything goes smoothly. The hearing consultant can also answer any questions you might have about your insurance benefits, about providers, or hearing exams in general. And if you have never received a hearing exam before, they can also help prepare you for what to expect at your first visit. They also provide directions. They will send you an appointment confirmation after you schedule, and they'll also send you a reminder the day before. I've actually gone through this process myself, so I know it works really well. I like to get my hearing checked every year. Next slide, please. Okay, so then you go in for your very first visit, and this is for the hearing exam. You'll get a comprehensive set of tests through the provider, and then they'll sit down with you and discuss the results of the exam. So if they find hearing loss, they're going to go over all of that with you and recommend some hearing aids that would work best for your individual needs. So based on your own unique hearing loss profile, your budget, your lifestyle, basically, how do you spend your time? What do you like to do? Because all of that information helps them to make the best recommendation for you as an individual. And they'll go over all the hearing aid options that are available as part of your Western Health Advantage benefit. There's lots of different colors, styles. There's 2 different technology levels that's all available as part of your benefit. Now, if you choose to order hearing aids, you just do that right there through the provider at the office, and you would pay your applicable cost share in your benefit. And you can find that in your Western Health Advantage evidence of coverage document. Then the provider actually orders the hearing aids through Tru Hearing, and the hearing aids get shipped back to the provider's clinic in order to deliver them to you. So you would go in for your follow-up appointment and actually be fit for the new hearing aids. Now, something to keep in mind is Tru Hearing also offers financing to anyone who may need it. We work with both Allegro credit and Care credit. We definitely have a lot of members who work with us who have, for example, already established Care credit accounts, and they want to use that to help with the cost of their hearing aids, and you can absolutely do that. And both the hearing consultant and the provider can help answer questions with regard to that financing. So next, you'll return to the provider to be fit with your new hearing aids and have your first adjustments made to make sure everything feels good and sounds good. They want to make sure you're comfortable and that you feel confident before you leave in wearing those new hearing aids. The provider will actually train you on everything you need to know. So if you're a first-time hearing aid wearer, there's nothing to worry about. They're going to show you how to make some simple adjustments on your own, how to properly clean your hearing aids, how to change batteries if you don't buy one that's rechargeable. They'll also show you how to properly store your hearing aids, and also most people these days tend to want to pair their hearing aids with their smartphone so that you can actually use your phone to make all sorts of adjustments, volume settings, and so forth. So they actually will help you install the app and pair your hearing aid if you'd like to use your phone for that. And you'll also, as I mentioned, get free aftercare. So when you purchase hearing aids, from the date that you receive those hearing aids, you get 1 full year, a full 12 months of follow-up visits with that Tru Hearing provider. So you can go back as many times as you need for any kind of additional tweaks or adjustments, or maybe you just have questions and you want to talk to the provider in person, you're able to do that for a very lengthy amount of time. Most people in general go back to the provider an average of like 3 to 5 times. So it's just nice to know that you have that extra time if you need it. Now, if you're a first-time hearing aid wearer, one of the things that we like to encourage people to do is to be really patient with yourself, because it can actually take some time, depending on how long you've had hearing loss and how significant it may be, for your ears and your brain to actually adjust to hearing sounds through your hearing aids. And consistency and wearing them frequently and leaning on your provider for help are really key in having a long-term successful experience. Next slide, please. So we know there's a lot to learn, and we just want to make sure you know that we're here for you every step of the way. You can always call Tru Hearing with any questions, even if you're not ready to go ahead and make an appointment. We just know that when you hear better, you feel better. Now, if you don't feel quite ready to take that first step to call and schedule your appointment for a full hearing exam, but you think you might be experiencing hearing loss, or you're just curious how your hearing is right now today, we encourage you to take our free online hearing screening. It's a tool we developed a few years ago that was really popular, especially when the pandemic first hit. It's a really great way that you can actually take an online screening from the comfort of your own home. You can use your computer, you can use a tablet, a smartphone, and you can use any type of headphones or earbuds. It'll ask a few questions at the start of the screening to help calibrate based on what you're using. You just need to find a nice quiet spot. And then the screening takes about 5 minutes and it gives you the results for both ears. So all you need to do is type one of those links into your browser and you can reach the online screening. I think there's also a generic one on our own website if you have any trouble at all. Next slide, please, Elisa. Thank you. So wanted to go over in detail what all the inclusions are, everything else that you get as part of using your benefit through Western Health Advantage and purchasing hearing aids through Tru Hearing. So we mentioned already that you get the first year of follow-up visits at no additional cost. You also receive a 3-year warranty. That's on any device that you purchase through Tru Hearing. And that covers the hearing aids for any type of loss or damage. If anything is wrong where it needs to go back to the manufacturer, that's fully covered during that 3-year period. And it includes a one-time full replacement. So, you know, a lot of times when people are not used to wearing something so small on a daily basis, it's easy to get lost. So it's nice to have the peace of mind that you do have that replacement coverage. And to use that, all you have to do is call Tru Hearing or call your provider and they can initiate a loss and damage claim or a replacement. You also get 60 days to try out your new hearing aids. And that I think is important because even with the benefit, we know it's a big investment and we want to make sure that you guys feel comfortable before you're committed to the hearing aids. So for those 60 days, you can test out the hearing aids. And during that time, you could choose to do a return and get a full refund, or you might change your mind on the style. Maybe you started with one that's a custom fit inside the ear type of model, but you want to try one behind the ear. You could absolutely do that during the 60 days and switch to another style. You also receive 80 batteries per hearing aid for if you buy a non-rechargeable style. And we do actually have rechargeable models available as well. They're very popular. That's a lot easier than dealing with changing batteries. Depending on how powerful your hearing aid is, a lot of people are changing their battery once a week, if not more. So it is nice to have that option for a rechargeable aid that you can wear all day and just recharge at night. Next slide, please. So hearing aid technology today offers a lot more than we could have even imagined just 5 or 10 years ago. And that's usually one of the biggest surprises we hear from someone who maybe waited a really long time because they weren't super excited at the idea of getting hearing aids. But then once they had them, they were so impressed with the technology that they often comment they wish they would have known and would have done it sooner. But your hearing aid benefit gives you access to the highest quality hearing aids. They're actually made by a company called Signia. They are one of the tier 1, so the best of the best hearing aid manufacturers that's available worldwide. So you're getting a really good deal through your benefit. The cost shares through your Western Health Advantage plan is amazing compared to what these exact same hearing aids would cost on the retail market. So it saves you out of pocket expense, but you don't have to sacrifice quality or features. You're getting really high quality hearing aids. So the image that you see on the screen is really just giving you an example. There's lots of colors and styles available. The one in the middle is a really popular model, and that one also comes in lots of different colors, but it's called the Slim Rick, and it's a rechargeable hearing aid. That is really popular. It doesn't look that much like a hearing aid. It kind of looks more like a consumer wearable device. And it comes with a case that you can actually use the case to recharge the hearing aid. So if you're someone who travels a lot or you just like to be out and about, it's nice to have the option to purchase hearing aids where you can recharge and then actually plug the case in and recharge the case once that needs it. So it's a very popular model that we've been offering. And you and your Tru Hearing provider will essentially decide together which hearing aids are the best for you. So you can let them know what you're interested in, what you want, but ultimately they're going to counsel you on what's going to give you the best experience for your individual needs, your lifestyle, and your hearing loss. Next slide, please. Okay, so many new hearing aids offer smartphone app connectivity and lots of e-health features that are kind of new out in the hearing aid market. So even if you weren't buying hearing aids through Tru Hearing, it would not be uncommon for you to be able to download an app and pair your hearing aids through an app. We do have a Tru Hearing app, so the hearing aids you can purchase through your benefit do come with that option. And what's really cool is you can use it not only to control things like volume and settings. It's a lot easier to do it on your phone than actually on the tiny hearing aid itself. But there are some optional features that you can use if you'd like. You don't have to use them by any means. You choose whether or not you want to enable those features, but you can actually track how many steps you've taken, look at how far you've walked, calories burned. You can talk to your provider virtually if that's something you're interested in. Maybe you just have a question and you don't want to go in for an appointment. So it's nice to have the option if you need it. And again, the provider will train you on how all of that works. And you can also call Tru Hearing and talk to a consultant anytime if you have questions. Next slide, please. There's additional new hearing aid technology that's also designed just to give you a better, more natural experience when wearing hearing aids. The hearing aids that we sell through the benefit have a feature called own voice processing. And really what that means is the sound of your own voice will sound more natural in your ears coming through the hearing aid. We feel like that's a really important feature because a lot of times when people first start wearing hearing aids, they say that their own voice sounds too loud and distorted and is distracting in their ear. So it's nice to have the technology to actually address that need. There's also motion and acoustic sensors in the hearing aids that essentially allow it to automatically adjust as you move around. So maybe you're walking on a busy street. It's going to be able to detect that and make sure you can hear the traffic sounds. Maybe you go into a restaurant and there's a lot of background noise and you're trying to have a conversation. The hearing aids will drown out the background noise and amplify the sound of the person at your table. So those are just a couple of examples, but the idea is for you to not have to intervene as much, and the hearing aids are able to learn and really improve the experience as you wear them. And then we already talked about the rechargeable features, which is really great. Rechargeable hearing aids are extremely popular. back in the day when it first came out, the rechargeable aids were not that great because they didn't last all day. But now the technology has finally caught up where, you could be streaming all day, you could be watching TV, listening to music, taking phone calls directly into your hearing aids, and it's still going to maintain that charge, throughout the day, and you can just recharge it at night. All right, next slide, please. So I don't know if you're aware, but there are more than 38 million Americans who suffer from some degree of hearing loss. So if you think you may be experiencing hearing loss, you're definitely not alone. It's something that most of us will experience at some point in our lives. And Tru Hearing is here to make sure that you stay connected to the ones you love. Our goal is to make it easy for you to treat your hearing loss so that you don't even realize, you don't even think about your hearing aids, and you can get back to living your best life. Next slide. So if you want to find out more, especially the details in terms of what the actual benefit is, your cost shares, we definitely encourage you to refer to your Western Health Advantage evidence of coverage document, or a Tru Hearing information flyer that might be available to you through your plan. You can also call Tru Hearing anytime at the numbers you see here on the screen. Or, for example, if you called Western Health Advantage because you have questions about other benefits, but you also have questions about the hearing benefit, they can always transfer you over to Tru Hearing. So lots of options to get some assistance and ask questions. There's no pressure at all to schedule an appointment or buy hearing aids. We just want to make sure you're fully aware of what you have available to you. And that is the most important information to share. What kind of questions are there? I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Yeah, thank you again, Cora. I can't believe how far hearing aid technology has come.
I know.
Yeah, that's really amazing, all the things it can do. So definitely, I want to open the floor to anyone here to ask any questions. Like I mentioned, you could put it in either the question and answer box or in our chat. But yeah, really valuable information. Thanks for sharing all of that. I know that we might have different benefits, but for the most part, with respect to our MyCare and our MyCare Plus plans, those two plans, you are able to get 2 hearing aids per year, and we have cost sharing, as Cora mentioned, for the advanced model at $699 and premium models at $999.
That's correct. Yeah, I think the CalPERS Medicare benefit is a little bit different, but I do know that all of for a hearing exam, so just to go in and get a hearing exam, there's no cost share. It's a $0 copay. So that's good news, because then you can treat it like preventative health and make sure, I like to say knowledge is power. I like to know where my hearing ability is each year and how it's changing. So it's nice to have information, and then you can decide what you'd like to do from there.
Yeah, and I didn't even think for myself to even go and get my hearing checked. I know sometimes at preventive visits, they'll do that every now and then, but it is good. And then especially, I guess, to also have like a baseline.
Yes, totally agree. Yeah, I mean, I'm getting close to age 50, and I have what's called tinnitus, or you might hear some people refer to it as tinnitus. Same thing, but it's essentially ringing in the ears, and mine comes and goes. But I often go and get my hearing checked because I know that can sometimes be a sign that I may have hearing loss in the future. So I like to keep that tracked. And, they actually make hearing aids these days that can help address that. There's not really a cure for tinnitus, but there are, for example, features in some hearing aids where you can counteract the sound to kind of cancel it out. It's really amazing. So first step is always to go in and get your hearing checked and talk to a provider.
Right. And one question that just came through. So just to verify, so whenever we do want to go, any of our members want to schedule a hearing exam, they call the number, the Tru Hearing number, and the hearing exam is covered. at a $0 copay to them, but it's scheduled through Tru Hearing. Is that correct?
Correct. Yes. So I see the question in the chat, Eric. Yeah. So it's not for your primary medical. You don't need any kind of a authorization or referral. This is just part of your supplemental coverage that you have through your Western Health plan. So all you have to do is call Tru Hearing and schedule that appointment, and we handle everything else. So all your benefits get verified. The provider will know exactly what you have in advance.
Yeah, that's
And
great.
correct, it's a $0 copay for the exam.
And I love how you're set up with one, I forget how you refer to them, but you have one main point of contact that will stay
Yes,
with you, and you're not passed on, from one
exactly.
representative to another. So that's
Yeah,
great.
we get really good feedback about that experience, because if you think about it, no matter what age you are, we're all consumers, and none of us like the experience where you call into a call center and you have to start over with the whole thing with a new person every time you call. So this really takes care of that. And a lot of times we hear from members that they developed really great relationships with their hearing consultants, and we get lots of really good feedback. So we're always happy to provide that. Now, if for any reason you wanted to switch to someone else, you can also do that. But our hearing consultants really take ownership over their member relationships. So they like to be able to talk to the same people over and over as well. So.
And yeah, so thank you again. One other quick question. I'm going to just put this up here on the screen while we wait for more benefits, for more questions. But one question I had that I was just thinking when you went through your presentation, I know that our plan covers, 2 hearing aids per year.
Mhm.
On average, how long does someone's hearing aid last if they're taking care of it and
Yeah.
doing all the proper care and their hearing levels aren't changing?
That is a great question. I will tell you, in general, people do try to make their hearing aids last as long as possible, because especially if you don't have a benefit, it's a pretty big investment. But we do get that question pretty often. And in general, we start to actually see people repurchasing new hearing aids about every 3 to 5 years. But the hearing aids are, if you take good care of them and you get them serviced and cleaned properly, you do have that 3-year warranty that covers them fully for that amount of time. So I would say in general, 3 to 5 years is usually what we see. There's always going to be people who might go longer than that if they can. I know I would, but it is nice to have the benefit as well, because, I think I mentioned already, these same hearing aids on the retail market are really expensive. The premium hearing aid, I think I saw most recently retails for $3,125 or $3,250 each. So getting that through a $9.99 copay is a huge value, a huge benefit through the plan. So yeah.
Wow, that's a huge cost savings.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't see any other questions come through. You do have some time to type anything in while you're thinking of it. Just wanted to highlight on the screen, you'll see this web address. This is from our Western Health website that will give you a brief overview of all the other added benefits that's included with your enrollment in our plans. So we do want to make sure our members take full advantage of all of these benefits. So hopefully this page will be an easy way for you to access them. It's got direct links and contact numbers to the vendors directly, including Tru Hearing. So if you have a pen and paper, jot this website down, the mywa.org/mycarebenefits. Also, if you found today's webinar helpful, I encourage you to RSVP and register for any of our future sessions. Like today's, each presentation will take a detailed look at one specific benefit. So we do have one also scheduled for tomorrow. We're going to be looking at our in-home support companion care benefit that's offered through Papa Pals. So that's a new benefit for 2023. We're excited to offer our members. So definitely check that out. You can register for these events at this website, mywa.org/mycareevents. And if you do have any questions, you can reach out to our Medicare sales team. Okay, and here is the number for our member services team and our sales team. So our hours are there. We'd be more than happy to answer any questions that you may have. Just quickly pan again. I don't see any other questions. So again, Cora, thank you for your time. Thank you for that presentation. I know I learned something, so hopefully anyone else that attended did as well. And I will give you all back 30 minutes of your day. So have a good rest of your day, everyone. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks so much. Take care.